Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back. Super excited to talk about this video or this series of videos because I decided to start a new series and it's going to be called My Favorite Things. So I'm just going to talk about my favorite things in each of the places I visited, country wise, maybe even city wise. I'll just kind of like do it as I go. But pretty much that's the new series. So I'm super excited because you already know what country I'm going to start with. My favorite things about Spain. So, Spain, like always, will have a piece of my heart, owes me nothing. I had an amazing time. Even though I traveled a lot, I still spent a lot of time in Spain. And one of my favorite things about Spain is how small of a country it is. It was so easy to get around. It was so easy to get around. We got around by train, by bus, blah blah car, which is like the equivalent of like long distance Uber. We got around like of course plane. Did I say plane? I think I did. Plane, train, blah blah car, bus, whatever. It was so easy to get from point A to point B and it didn't take that much time. Like Barcelona and Jaén were like 3 hours away from each other. Same thing with Sevilla. We could get to Malaga in an hour. We could get to, I think Madrid and Barcelona are like 8 hours away from each other or something like that. Like that's the size of California. It takes like from the Bay Area to San Diego takes about an 8 hour drive. And so that kind of gives you an idea of like Spain is like the size of California. It was so easy. And what made that easy for us as people who were studying abroad was we were limited on time. We were going to go home. Everything being so close in proximity made things so much easier when it came to travel because I could literally take a weekend. I could be in Madrid this weekend and be in Barcelona next weekend and be in Portugal the weekend after. It was just easy to travel around. So my favorite thing about being in Spain was being able to easily get from, or one of my favorite things about being in Spain was easy to get from point A to point B. Another favorite thing, the food, of course. Woo, man, when I tell you, I used to tear it up. Lord, it was so good. And like now I've developed GERD, which stops me from eating tomatoes a lot. And a lot of Spanish food has tomatoes in it. It was still so good. Olive oil, like like the way they use bread. And I love bread. If you know me, you know that sweet bread is my kryptonite. So anything, any kind of dessert that has sweet bread is like just amazing. Amazing. The different foods. You know what? I'm gonna look some of them up. I'm gonna look some of them up. Gazpacho. Ugh, so good. I didn't even, because to me, before I left, I wasn't even a tomato person. And then I had gazpacho and I watched the way that my host mom would make gazpacho. And it was amazing. Like, wow, what are you putting in this? Oh man, the ham. How could I even like, how could that not be the first thing that comes to my mind? They had like huge ham legs just on the wall. Like you walk into somebody's house and they just got a big ass ham hanging on the wall. Like what? And it was so good. And the different kinds of ham. You got to the thing about it was we were there so long that we got to learn the different kinds of ham. So you knew which one was your favorite when you would go to a restaurant or go into a store. You would know like, oh, this is the type that I prefer. This one's too salty. That one's not salty enough. Give me this kind of thing. So just the ham, amazing. Tortillas. I had a tortilla once that was spinach. It was potatoes and spinach and eggs. It was like, how are y'all doing this, bro? How? How are y'all cooking like this? Just, I can't even. I can't even. What's the other one that I really like? I really enjoy croquetas. Ooh, when I tell you, each restaurant had their own kind of croqueta. Each restaurant just kind of did their own thing. It's like pancakes. You would go to IHOP for pancakes, but you would also go to the original house of pancakes for pancakes. And they're different kinds of pancakes, but they're both good pancakes. Some people like Denny's pancakes. You go to Denny's for pancakes. Same thing with croquetas. They were good anywhere you went, but everybody had their own ingredients that they would use to make them, and they were all just so good. Sardines. I used to just eat those over there. Just eat them. Anchovies, just eat them. They were fried and they were good. They really changed my perspective on the food. Croquetas. What else did I say? There was another one that I really enjoyed that I would just eat all the time. Oh, paella. Paella. Yes. My host mom, even just the at-home kind of paella that she would just throw together. Chef's kiss, amazing. And the seafood was like so fresh. The food in general, just the food was just so amazing. And I always wish that I could be a part of that culture so that I could learn how to cook. But we out here, just amazing, amazing. Another one of my favorite things about living in Spain, the culture, like the lifestyle. No pasa nada. That was something that they would always beat into us because we were from America. We were also uptight about grades, uptight about being places on time, uptight about going to certain places or not going to certain places. We were always so uptight about stuff. And it was ridiculous because why? Why are we all so? Because, like, if you live in California, like I said in one of my last videos, it feels like a rat race. You're always trying to do something, be somewhere, do something, you're always in a hurry too. And over there, it's like, chill out. No pasa nada. Nothing passes. Just relax. Just relax. We used to call it Spanish time. Me and my friend Jasmine, we would always talk about being there in Spanish time. So if we made plans, if we were running a little bit late or if we thought that we weren't going to make it on time, we would just say, hey, Spanish time. And then the other person would know, okay, I don't need to rush because that person there might be late or they're rushing right now to get there and I don't need to do all that. It was fine. It's just relaxed. We would just take our time getting from point A to point B because why rush? We're all just about to sit here and chill. Tapas, just going out for tapas. I already talked about the food, but just the camaraderie around this activity. Oftentimes, even when I didn't live with my host parents anymore, they would say, hey, we're going to go and get tapas with Sara y Jose. Do you want to go? Yeah, I'm always down. So we would go and get our little seats and we would sit and kick it and chill with each other and talk about stuff. And it helped me kind of flex my Spanish a little bit. And they would ask me about school and everything that was going on. And it was always so great, like just watching and seeing and just watching them kind of just because this was just regular life for them. But for me, it was like, wow, they all just came down and just kicked it like chilled or whatever for a few 30 minutes or whatever. Sometimes we would go to like a one spot and have, a drink or two, and then we would go to a restaurant, sit down and have like wine and, some tapas or whatever. It was just like a nice little, it was a vibe. That's what the kids say nowadays. It was a vibe. So I really like the culture. I like the music. It just pulls you in. It just makes you, stereotypically when you look at movies and stuff like that, Spanish people. It's so funny because I watch Spanish people. I'll be like, I get where they could see that. I get how stereotypically it kind of seems like they're like that. Because when you're out there, you're like, oh no, they're really just trying to have a good time. Another one of my favorite things about Spain, just fashionable. Can we just talk about how them women was always dressed to the nines? They were always like on point. The women, the girls, the teenagers, everybody, the grandparents, grandma and grandpa was fly too. Everybody was just fucking fly all the time. It's crazy. I was like, yo, this teenager's out dressing me, yo. I was in my 20s and I just felt so like underdressed all the time. But I liked it. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like just watching them and seeing them put pieces together and look nice. And like my host mom, she has an eclectic style. If you hear me talk about what my host mom would wear and the types of stuff that she would get for me, and it just stylish, just like fashionable. It was just crazy to me. Like, wow. And it was like a second nature kind of thing. It's not like they had to try. Just wow. Just wow. Just wow. Favorite things. That was like a few of my favorite things about Spain. I could do a part two. I could do a part three, part four, part five, because there's so many things that I just really enjoyed about being there and being able to kind of absorb and acclimate to things. It was a great time. We had a time, as they say. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you watch more of the other things that I talk about on my channel. Spread the word, let people know I'm talking about it. If you want to learn more about something I talked about, just put a comment below and we can get to talking. I can do another video. Thank you so much. This is Little Mo Travels and I'm out.